Hi, my name is Madeline Cunningham, and I interviewed my uncle Danny Cook, who is the proprietor of Clementine, an events venue in Nashville, Tennessee. My uncle loves his job and talking about what he does, so it wasn't hard for me to get this meeting with him. First, I asked my uncle about his actions to ensure that Clementine is an attractive choice for those planning an event in Nashville. His response was that the venue industry is divided between massive institutions such as museums and hotels and mom and pop establishments with low cost but mixed reputation, and that the Clementine strives to be a professional choice in the middle ground. It was maintained that the venue industry is tightly orchestrated so as to prevent accidents such as falling off ladders or anything that could go wrong. Venue veterans often swap war stories with each other, but given the highly controlled environment, misfortunes themselves are rare. And being a very reputation focused industry, it is not a good look to continuously bring them up. In this industry, by and large notorious for complicated, unclear pricing. Um, Often hidden fees will surpass the initial rental price itself. For this reason, my uncle uses in-house lighting and audio and quotes one number for the entire deal. This arrangement has been proven very popular and saved clients thousands of dollars, in some cases tens of thousands. I asked my uncle how he drives business to the venue, and the Clementine style of advertising, he responded, attend that attendees of events at the Clementine automatically become ambassadors for the business themselves, as the events they are attending is likely a major talking point in their lives. Besides word of mouth, SEO, and social media marketing make up a bulk of the advertisements. I asked my uncle what his favorite part of operating the Clementine is, and he responded that he secretly takes immense pride in unique structure and loves when people pay special attention to its artistic elements. I then asked about the hardest part and of taking care of a venue, and he answered that if hardest meant least gratifying, it would certainly be the extensive intake, vetting, and processing of each vendor at an event. Clients will occasionally pick vendors with no competence and poor reputations. For this reason, a vendor application fee is charged upfront to ensure compatibility of all vendors. I asked about deciding factors when my uncle hires individuals, and his response was that he personally holds 3 or 4 core competencies in mind when selecting someone for a position. Next, extensive situational awareness along with a checklist mentality adoptable on the fly are invaluable. Finally, venue managers themselves must be somewhat non-aspirational as this occupation is controlling and maintaining stewardship of building during a mass event. I asked about business during COVID, and he responded that while business, particularly inside Nashville city limits, were hit hard by stay-at-home orders, this was not the case for all of the metro. For this reason, the industry was somewhat slow to return, though business has largely restored. Finally, I asked what drove him to go into the venue business, and his answer made as much sense as it was unceremonious. Line luck. The truth is, most in this rather niche industry often find their way via a completely different line of work. I appreciate my Uncle Danny for taking the time to conduct this interview, and that is it.